Welcome back. It's been a while. I've been on vacation with my family for Golden Week. We are back on King Arthur, and now is the time to get back and start playing this game. Caliburn Arthur, I'm going to call him C. Arthur from now on, is a top-tier damage dealer. We're going to compare him to Bedivere and to Iwart, and he's worth it. This guy is worth it since all you have to do is summon 60 times, and you get him guaranteed on the banner. It doesn't matter if you get legendaries on the way there. When I summoned for him, I got a Tristan at 10, and then of course I still got him at 60. So definitely pick it up. They've made it easier to get multiple copies of heroes, to get chivalries. They've done everything that really kind of just giving people these heroes. So get in here, get him, because he is that amazing. They've also reset everyone for our content creator. It's a new season, so all content creators were reset. Yesterday we were at 1,600, so make sure you come over here and support. And with this video I'm doing right now, I'm going to submit it to Netmarble, and they'll be able to give you, like, I'll be able to push to you these 3 special summons and 200 additional stamina. Now I'm using Arthur in the brand new dungeon. They have done great things. We've got, like, we can set up our skills now. We can alternate our skills. We can tell it to do skill 3, skill 2, skill 3, skill 2. There's so many different variations you can make. You can sell gear after you've been farming. They've made it easier to get additional copies, like I said earlier, with this new resources. I can't remember the name of the resource, but to get additional copies of heroes. And then also in this pool over here, they made it really easy to get legendaries. Now we need to go over all of this in a different video. Because look, you can grab so many legendaries here instead of just waiting for that one legendary to show up. Like, you would normally only see one here. Plus they have raid up summons, and then they have master memory stones. They're making changes, a lot of changes, and these are the kind of changes that will bring people back, especially if they keep coming out with good heroes, good usable heroes. I don't want to see Vivians. I don't want to see Gilroys. Give me people like C. Arthur. They can be up there with Iwart, up there with Bedivere, and then give me support that can be up there with Nika and Anya, you know, all the top tier support, Morgan, all those top tiers we have. And if they keep coming out with heroes like this, it's going to make the game great and engaging, because the new content they have is on point. 3 new bosses, leaderboards. We can't use the same team on each boss. We can see all the teams that everybody else are using. We'll do this in a separate video. Let's focus on C. Arthur and what he can do. Why I think he's so good. Why I think he is definitely as good as Bedivere. I think a little bit better than Bedivere in the right single target instance when we're just fighting one thing. Of course, better there. And then just as good as Iwart. The biggest thing about him is this. Whenever he does an attack, he gets these benefits. And it takes about 3 attacks, 2.5 attacks. He attacks 1 time, then he goes in and uses his passive to hit 5 times and do this damage, 215%, ignoring 20% defense, which is very comparable to Bedivere. When he goes in and does this additional attack, it's 110%, ignoring 20% defense. But Bedivere, if you're fighting a single target, these 2 hits will not hit that single target. Only one of these, only 110%. So he's got him there. He's going to do more damage on single target with his over Bedivere. But really, he's beating out Bedivere regardless, because after you attack a few times, he goes up to 30% additional attack from these buffs, 21% additional critical damage, 45% crit rate. So we can build him easier. Like, I don't even have all of his masteries. You know, they do the masteries now to where we don't have to go to Chivalry 8 on all these new heroes. With these masteries, I'm missing 30 crit rate. 30 crit rate that I'll have on him once I do this, plus a lot of attack. You know, great things to have, of course, but if you're free to play or a low spender, all you have to do is focus on getting the first 5. Not even really the first 5, but it's easier. It's much easier. They've made it easier with even the new resource that they brought in to get us additional copies of heroes. And I'm loving seeing heroes that are so good, that are so usable, like C. Arthur is. So he's going to come in on a skill 2. The skill 2 single target. If there's a debuff on the enemy, we're going to get a 25% attack gauge increase, plus we get this buff. Now, when we have this buff and we're attacking the enemy, this is when we fly in and do this additional damage every other turn. We attack, we get this damage 1 turn, and then the next turn we come in and we're getting this damage again. And it doesn't matter if there's a debuff or not, because we have a chivalry to be able to apply a debuff if there's not one up. And I haven't seen this one be resisted. And I've talked to some other people, because I did a stream yesterday, an hour and a half stream, and we played him and we went into the new dungeons. And I talked to them and they said they've never seen this be resisted. So I hope they eventually, put this in there, that it's not resisted, that it's irresistible. Just like we have with iWord, it makes sense. These guys are full on attack. We don't want to have to worry about effect accuracy to land this kind of debuff. And the great thing about him is, especially in something like Arena, when you attack right away, if you don't have this debuff on and there is a debuff on the enemy, you'll get this buff on. You'll get this buff right away. Now it reads like you would need to have the buff on and then attack an enemy, and then it would take away the buff and do this. But really, if you don't have it on and you attack, and this isn't on cooldown, if you attack, you'll immediately get this buff if there's a debuff up, and then you'll immediately fly in to doing these 5 additional hits. Either way, it's great. It's every other turn. I mean, this is massive damage. Plus, this is where all of it makes it so much stronger. 30% attack at max, 45% crit rate. Look at how I built him, because he's getting 45% crit rate. And I don't even have those chivalries for that 30 extra. 21% critical damage and then 45% hit rate. So we don't have to worry about hit on any of the other gear. He's going to hit and he's going to ramp up. So good in so many instances because I'm at 57% crit rate. I'm getting the 45 from him. I know I'm at 100%. So I put critical damage gear, 15% additional critical damage. I've got attack percentage all down the line. We have Pierce over here, which obviously Pierce is always better than crit rate, critical damage, as long as they have reasonable defense. If they just don't have any defense at all, then yeah, critical damage is better. But it's always safer to go Pierce. Especially on all these bosses we fight, it's usually always better to go Pierce instead of critical damage. And then I put attack speed because I don't need hit rate. So I just put some attack speed on him. I haven't been able to find anything good. So I went with something with enough crit rate to get my crit rate high enough with that 45% that we're at 100% chance to crit. Now later on, when I do get his chivalries, I don't even have to worry about so much crit. I can then go to critical damage for those substats. But believe me, pick up 1 copy. It's so easy to pick up a copy. They've made it simple. We just do 60 summons. And if you pull legendaries on the way there, you still get this hero. I got Tristan at 10, and then of course I got to 60 and got C. Arthur. Just so easy. His AoE attack is kind of weak, but you do get 100% chance to get 1 vigor back, which is very nice. And then if there's a debuff up, we still get this buff. And when we have that buff, and this isn't on cooldown, every other turn, we come in and do this single target damage where we ignore 20% defense to 15. Again, very comparable to Bedivere. Bedivere skill 2 vigor, just like Arthur skill 2. Arthur's doing like 205%, was it? 204%. And then Bedivere's doing a little over 300% as long as we crit. And then he'll come in and hit somebody for this additional damage. Now, Bedivere isn't on such a low cooldown that C. Arthur is, and Bedivere isn't getting all those additional buffs when he attacks. The attack, the critical damage, the crit, the hit rate, right? He's not getting all of that stuff. So he's going to hit harder than Bedivere. But Bedivere's still great. But I do think it's Iwart along with C. Arthur and then Bedivere like immediately below that. But it's fantastic. We've got a hero that we can actually use and feel good about using, feel good about leveling up. In story mode, I needed to get, this is hell, by the way, I needed to get some of these additional fragments, the weapon ones, so I could upgrade his skills. And I came in here with him just to see how he hits. He's going to do a hit here. There's a debuff up, obviously, so he's going to get that buff on himself. And then, boom, he goes into those additional hits. Now, we didn't get additional damage taken, or that would have been much more, but it's strong. Like, legitimately is strong, and they need to bring heroes out like this all the time. Every 15 days. Don't skip anymore. They've skipped twice, and since they did so well with the new content they brought out right now, and with the new hero, with C. Arthur coming out, then I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because this content is that good. If you don't know what teams to use, obviously come over to the leaderboards and you can see this person at the very top has used these teams to get the damage that they have. Now, since we can't use Nico on all the teams, we got to use more vigor sets so we can use all of our skills, which I hope we have more heroes that can come out and make it better for that. So this is what I was using. It's one of the teams we've already seen up there, and Arthur is just doing so much damage. We need multi-hit on this. We need some serious damage on it. We need at least one main damage dealer. We've got 2 support, really 3 support, but my Brennan is so tanky that he does really good damage. And we're going to counterattack and do great damage. We've got shields on, and Arthur is going to get his buff on and then come in and do those hits every other turn on our steel flanked Pinvid and get some crazy damage. So this is definitely the team to put him on against this boss. And then, of course, you can't use these 4 here on another boss. You've got to use somebody else on Talos and the other one. But I am loving Arthur, and it seems like he's very easy to play. You can put him in an attack set. You can put him in a 2-piece crit set. If you're not able to get those masteries, like I don't have them right now, if you're not able to get good substats, put him in the 2-piece crit rate set and then the attack set to start off with if you're a beginning player. And if you do have the resources to be able to get him in this kind of gear, it's going to take 10% of his HP, but we get 50% of attack instead of 30% of attack with a normal 4-piece attack set. And then, of course, here, like I said, if you can't get that crit rate, he's going to give us 45. If you can't get up to somewhere closer to 100%, you don't have to be at 100, then use the crit set here to get the additional crit set. But I am loving what they're doing. So let me know your thoughts on this down below, on how the game is doing, on how the company is doing. And I think everything's going to ride on the next few days. When's the next banner coming up? This will really make the difference. 5 days. Are we going to see another great new hero? Or are we going to see nothing? Are they going to skip again? Because I think that's a bad idea. We need to see new heroes come out every 15 days. If it's not a legendary, then bring out a rare. But it should be a legendary. It's not that hard to bring out 1 legendary every 15 days. 2 legendaries a month, 24 legendaries in a year. This is a hero collector where we want to have options. We want to see all these different heroes and make all these different teams. And the more heroes that we have that are viable, I think the more fun everybody's going to have with this, especially since they're so easy to get. We need more. We just need more of them so we can mix and match and try things out and just play with different heroes. And we have so many teams now on defense for clan PvP and on attack. So we need more heroes that are fun to play with, more legendaries that seem legendary. So let me know your thoughts on all of that down below. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. Don't forget to go over and pick me as your content creator on the Netmarble website so I can get these rewards out to you. Thank you so much, everyone, and I will talk to you soon. We need to go over everything else that's going on in King Arthur. 5 days, guys. Don't let us down. We don't need new content. You just brought some out, but we gotta see a new hero. I'll see you all soon.